Hey, Russell here from Adelaide West Physio and Pilates on this fine July day, 1st of July. Um, I'm pretty excited about this study. We were watching master sessions through the week in our PD sessions at work, and Lorimer referenced this research article that was from 2016, and it's a pretty big article, and he drew some really interesting conclusions which I want to share with you because it gives a lot of credibility to what we're trying to do with the notion of pain education, helping people to understand pain better, really clearly. But more importantly, it should give a huge amount of hope to people that have persistent pain, showing that it is changeable, but it does depend on the way in which the information is shared, and that the aim has got to be to help people to really learn and understand it. It's not good enough to do just an information dump, which has traditionally been more the style, I think, of people when they've done pain education with people. It's been just carpet bombing them with information, which is, I think, how it really started, and he'd be the first to say that was really the old style way of going about helping people to understand pain. But the study it's an Australian one, which is kind of cool too. And I'm just wrestling with this technology, so I hope it all works as I intend it will. I took some screenshots just to share with you. I hope you don't mind, Lorimer and Noigroup. Apologise in advance. So hopefully you can see that. This is a bit of a summary of the study. It's data from 1,400 odd people and quite a high rate of follow-up. It's pretty impressive, 92% follow-up. And the people that they included in the study were people that had chronic pain, but they excluded a few groups like cancer, spinal cord injury, post-stroke pain. But otherwise, it sounds like it was fairly open slather for people that had persistent pain. Average duration of 6 years. So people that have been putting up with it for quite a while, an average pain over the last 2 weeks of just over 5 out of 10. So that was the group of people, and you can see in that little there's a little box there. I think you'll find it's on the next slide too. Yeah, in that little box. So they're the people that started off, and they did 3 or 4 weeks of pain science education, and you can see after 3 or 4 weeks, that's a measure of their pain on the y-axis there. Measure of their pain started about 5.2 and it's still at about 5.2 after 3 or 4 weeks of pain education. So they'd been given this information and their pain levels had stayed about the same. Okay, so what's interesting about that though is that the dots there's blue and red, and you'll see in a moment who the blue and red are. They're 2 different groups of people that they're able to categorize after 12 months. So this is what happened. One group, which is the blue group, you can see how progressively, as the months went by, their pain levels went down. That's the group that you want to be in. That's the group that you want to be in if you've got persistent pain. Your pain levels are going down. And these were the people that were able to take on the information and actually had a change, that actually learned, that could see their problem in a different perspective, that took on a new understanding about how pain worked. And the new understanding, whatever effects that it had, it certainly affected their pain. And this is really the goal in the end. It's the goal of pain, helping people understand their pain. It's not about being able to tick that box off and say, oh, we've done that, we've done pain education. It's about helping people to understand it better so that their pain gets better. And so as a therapist, this is really exciting to see that. And I think the thing that's cool about it too is that first 3 or 4 weeks, there was no change. But over time, you can see how progressively changed. And I think that's the bit that's the most exciting for me. And then you can see there that the red dots are the people that weren't able to take on that information. Now, whether that was the factors involved in that are many. One factor could be the way that the information was delivered, or the volume of information, or the content. And another one is the person receiving it. They might have just not been up for thinking about it. They might not have been capable of reflecting or to look at it from a different point of view. But for whatever reason, they were the people that weren't able to reconceptualize what pain meant, and their pain didn't change. And it's an enormous difference between those two groups. You can see that first group is still at 5, maybe a smidge over 5.2 out of 10 now, out of 10 for their pain. But the other group are, I would be guessing, looking at that graph, would be more like around the 1.2 out of 10. That's a huge difference. So that's exciting for a therapist to see, but it should also be exciting for the person that has persistent pain, that those kind of changes are possible. And one of the ways in which it can help is just by learning, understanding, getting a better understanding, a different understanding of how pain works. And we're really into that idea. We're passionate about that at Adelaide West Physio. And this is why we spend quite a bit of time. We do spend quite a bit of time talking about it. In our PD sessions, we talk about delivery of information and ways that we can improve on helping deliver the message. It's part of what we do. Our group is really, all of us are really keen on this concept. And the guts of the master sessions weekend was presenting this idea of, to help people with persistent pain, and persistent low back pain is a really large population, but it's not all about low back pain. Helping people with persistent pain, there's 3 parts. One is this section of it, helping them to understand it and reconceptualize. Let me swap that. And reconceptualize their pain, how it works, and understanding that their body is fit for purpose. And then the second part is helping to prove to them physically, helping them to experience things that reinforce this idea that their body is actually fit for purpose. And the third part is helping to create a new and better map, the representation of the body that's held in the brain and the central nervous system. And that sounds a little bit far out, but it's not. You're doing that the whole time, even by learning differently about the part that's in pain is something that's going to change the way that your body is represented into your brain. Maybe that's a topic for another video, but the last slide that I wanted to show you from this was really, really cool as well. So this is looking at neuropathic pain. Neuropathic pain is usually the stuff that will be given the chemical treatment, that will be given the medication, the Lyrica, the Tegretol, all those medications that are designed to help with neuropathic pain. And the results, as you can see on the graph there, so the grey lines are the ones that we were just talking about before. The red and the blue lines look very, very similar to those previous ones. And this is neuropathic pain. This is people in that study that had that nervy neuropathic pain, and they had similar results too from pain education. And the important thing to remember about this too is the delivery of this information wasn't done in the same way that we would do it today. We would deliver this information better today because there's a lot more thought put into how it's done, and learning and education and delivery and all the nuances that make it better, a better experience, a better learning experience. So for me, I just found that really, really exciting, and so did we all. And this is something that so someone through the week that I was talking about some of this pain science with, I was able to say, hey, you know what? The people that get the best effect out of this are the ones that are willing to take it on, give it a bit of thought, do the reflecting and doing the thinking about it, and not just be a passenger in the process. And I think that's a really important thing too. So we've moved a long way from the original brain dump model of pain education, which I'm as guilty of as anyone. I know that in years gone by, it's been a big old dump of information, and you kind of hope that someone will take some of it on. There might be something that gets their attention. And these days, it's much more nuanced. I want to say it's done with more purpose, more thinking about the way that it's done, and hopefully the results will be even better than what you can see on the screen. So I hope that's interesting. I'd love to hear what you think about that. If you're someone that does have persistent pain, I'd love to hear your thoughts on that, and to see if you're excited about it as we are. But yeah, if anyone out there wants to talk about their problem, their persistent pain, ongoing pain, low back pain, knee pain, whatever it might be, just drop something in the comments and we can have a chat. Ciao. See ya. Bye.